In this video, we're going to show you how to set up G Suite, which is our recommended platform for running your back office in the cloud. So below this video, there's a link that you can click, and there's also a few coupon codes you can use to set up G Suite that will give you 20% off for your first year. So you'll come to this page and it'll tell you you can get the basic or the business. We recommend the business. You just get more space on your drive and you have more options. But if you want, you can always start with the basic and then you can upgrade. So what you'll do is you'll click Start Free Trial. And then it'll come in and you'll have to say your business. And you can say how many employees you have, and then you pick the country. And then you put your contact details in. And you basically just follow all of the prompts on the screen. So here it's going to ask, do you have a domain? And you can say, I have a domain, I'd buy a domain, or you have a free .page domain. You most likely have a domain, so you would click that. So you'll put that in, and then you'll put, I just did a test domain, you go your domain, and you go next. And then you just you can press OK or no thanks. All right, then you'll pick a username and a password, and then you click I'm not a robot, and then you agree and continue. And basically through this whole process, all you're doing is just following the prompts on your screen. So you can have your IT tech person set it up, or you could do it yourself. It is very, very simple. So once you've followed all the prompts on the screen, what's going to happen is you're going to end up at a screen that shows you your email. So I'm going to walk you through my personal inbox and just a few settings so you can get an idea for how G Suite works. So when you come in here, one of the first things you can do is you can just go to settings and you can see all settings. So in here, you're going to be able to choose your default country code. You can choose your default reply behavior if you want that. You can change your text types here. And I use these settings. I always display external images. I enable dynamic email. I keep grammar suggestions on, spelling suggestions on, and autocorrect on. And I'll show you why in a second. Conversation view. And then when it comes to the stars that I like to use, I actually have a convention where I drag this star. I use a check mark. I use an exclamation, a question, info, and a yellow one. And I use this so that way I can flag certain information in my inbox. And then you come down here to your signature. And what's great about G Suite is if you have multiple domains, you can actually pull all of those domains in and send your email as if you're one company and as if you're another company. So we've got multiple domains for Smallfish. I also have a signature for my own business. So I have all of that information coming in one place, and I can reply to everybody with different signatures depending on what business emails me. And then in this settings, you're going to be able to choose your vacation responder as well. So over here, we have our labels. Labels is how you can organize your inbox, which is all of my labels I have on the side here. So you can come in here. You can create a new label. You might want to have labels, if you stick with our naming convention, that are sales, marketing, back office, you, your team. Maybe you have it by supplier. You can nest your labels. That can all come from a broader strategy, but this is the easiest way to set them up. Over here, I like to tick all these different categories: social, promotions, updates, and forums. And what happens is this creates automatic filters so that they come into different areas of my inbox. So if it's anything that's social related, so something from LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, it goes straight to my social inbox. If it's an update from a newsletter or promotion, like if I was buying shoes, that information would go into my promotions inbox. And I kind of keep all of these the same. Over here is where you'll set up all the different domains if you have them. You can add another email address, and then you just follow all the prompts on the screen, and you can type in how you want your email to be sent. So everything with Google is very simple. Just follow all the instructions on the screen, and you shouldn't have any problem setting any of this information up. Now this is a really, really great feature of using G Suite, is you can allow other people, so your admin or your marketing or your VA in the Philippines, you can grant access to your account. So what happens here is you just click add another account. You put their email address in, and it will send an email to them asking if you want to be granted access. And what that means, so for instance here, I've been delegated John's account. So if I ever need to get into John's email, all I have to do is just click this, and I can come straight into his email. So it's really, really good for delegating access to your VAs. Another setting I really like is the themes. So notice I'm using the Golden Gate Bridge. I like to be inspired when I'm doing my work, so I choose themes that inspire me. So you can come over here and pick set your theme. Let's go, we want to be Lake Tahoe, and it looks great. That's just a bit hard to read, so I'm probably going to switch back to this one. And then you just press save. So let's go over to our inbox. Remember those settings I just showed you? This creates the tabs here. So your social, promotions. Notice how these are pretty much newsletters that I've signed up to. So I can keep my focus particularly on what's going on in the primary inbox rather than being flooded with promotions and social and updates and everything. Over here, you have the chat function. So this is really good. If you're not using something like Slack to communicate with your team, you can use the Google Hangouts and Meet, and we just have different chats between all of us. And it's really good for just one-on-one quick communication and really helps cut down having to email each other back and forth. So now I'm going to show you what the admin section looks like so you can understand what it looks like to operate your business using G Suite. So it's going to ask to verify. I'm going to have to re-put my password in. And I log in. So this is your central engine for how you manage G Suite. So I just showed you your actual Gmail settings. And then in a previous video, I've showed you how you can use Google Drive to organize all your documents in the cloud. This is where you manage your users. If you want to create aliases for your team to have like collaborative inboxes, say you want to have a marketing department and a sales department, you would do all of that from here. So you'd add your users here. So I can see who are my users in this organization, and you can add new users. It's really simple. You can just put their first name, their last name. You could add a photo. You'd make their email, first name, last name, whatever, and you can automatically generate a password. So that's how you set your users. Now if I want to go back to home, Google Groups. Google Groups are wonderful ways to create domain aliases for different departments that you have. So if you have a marketing department and you have 3 people on your team who you all want to be able to access a marketing email or a supplier email or maybe a support email, what you do is you come in and you create that group here. You can see here what we've done is we have an accounts. We have an info at SFBC. We've done one for our partners, our marketing. So the best structure with Google is that you create users. So every one of your employees has an actual user account. And then if you want to use aliases, you come over here and you create a group. So you come over here, you can create a group. You'd put your group details in. You pick the email, sales, marketing, support, and then you can choose an owner. I typically own all the groups because I'm the super admin. And what that does is it gives you a couple of these group emails. So this is an example of a group. This is a collaborative inbox that 3 of us can access. Basically, this is a way for me to kind of keep on top of what everybody's doing, and I can see all the communication that's happening between the VAs, if they're following up with you, if they're not following up. I have a bird's eye view because I have this collaborative inbox. So I can come in here. It works as an inbox. I can reply to all. I could reply to author. I could forward. But this is a really, really good way to use one inbox that multiple people can access. Another thing that you're going to want to do when you're using G Suite is come over here and configure your company profile and also configure your billing. So with G Suite, you get a 30-day free trial so you can set it up and test it. But you'll want to come in and you'll want to update your profile. You can update a logo. You could add all of these settings just through here, adding your company name, organization name, who the administrator is, what language you want, the time zone, all of that's here. And you can choose to put your company logo in. You can choose account related logo. If you choose to put your company logo in, it will show up here. So this, instead of saying Google admin, it would just say your company's logo, which is good for personalization. So we'll go back to dashboard. So we'll go back to home. And one other thing that you'll want to check is your billing. So with G Suite, you get a 30-day free trial, so you can try out all of these settings and see how it works. And you're able to find out like how many users, what you're paying for each person. You can use Google Voice, which is you're able to get a telephone and use their services for a telephone. And if you need to, you can upgrade to Enterprise here. So you'll just, from here, you'll be able to set up your credit card. Under admin roles, you'll want to come in here and check out who is your super admin. So super admin is typically the one person who has access to everything. So I'm the super admin for this account because I'm the one that understands how all this works. So make sure that you are the business owner, you have the super admin privileges, and maybe you want to give somebody else in your organization privileges like this. You can have a services admin, you can have a help desk admin, user management, and a groups admin. So all you do is you come in, you can press assign admin, and you can create your own roles as well. So I can see here we've assigned Venus and myself. So if I was going to assign an admin to my groups, I could come in here and I could find out who I've assigned, and you can unassign roles and you can move your users around. So with G Suite, you think in users, so all of your employees should get a user. And then when you think of groups, that's when you start to think of your departments, your marketing, your sales, your support, those aliases. And through all of this, G Suite has a wonderful support service. So if you ever have any issues, you just come over here, you can click support, and you'll see their help assistant, and I can either read their help articles or I can contact support and I can actually chat to them. So if you ever have any issues, you can chat straight to them and they help you with so many things. So this is really, really good, especially if you're just starting out with G Suite and you have some questions. And then one final thing that works really good is you can check out your reports. So you're able to find out how are your files shared externally. Like anybody in my G Suite organization sharing their files externally. I might want to look into that. Let's see how many are public. I've got one public link, which we know is our big numbers tracker, so I'm okay with that. And I can see lots of people in our organization are sharing anything with a link. So this just helps with privacy and security. You can find the status of different accounts. So I can see that we have 7 users and everybody's active. I can see how much storage is being used. We can go in and I can find out about Gmail, like how many emails are being sent. So these insights can give you a lot. It helps you have full control over your company's data. So that's really important when we think of data security. And another thing that you might find interesting is the data migration. So if you're transferring over for something like Microsoft 365, or you had your emails on GoDaddy or something, you can set up a data migration. And you just come over to data migration, do set data migration, and you follow the prompts on the screen, and you can start to connect and bring over any emails from another service. So that's a really, really handy feature. And you might want to think about that if you have really important emails in Outlook or something that you want to be migrated over. So this was a quick video to give you a tour around G Suite, to explain the features that it gives you, and to explain how you could set up your Gmail so it's easy for you to organize, and so you could see how to actually use Gmail and set up the settings. And if you decide to sign up, click the link below and use the coupon codes as well, or if they've expired, contact us and we'll get you some new coupon codes. We'll see you over on the next training video.